Where is your monopoly? Now, this past couple of months, the kids have been pulling out old board games that we haven't played in years. And some of the games, I tell you the truth, I haven't played them. I didn't even realise we had them. They were gone in the back press for so long, but we rooted them all out. And it was only the other day we were looking at how many different versions of the game Monopoly we had. We had the standard version, and we had a kid kind of friendly version, and we had the minion version, so the minions from Despicable Me, we've got a version of that. And then we also have the pack of cards. Monopoly is now in a pack of cards. You don't even need the board or all the big counters to play it. You can actually play it with a pack of cards and probably in the back of the car or whatever. So it's very convenient like that. Now, why am I talking about Monopoly? Well, if you think about that game Monopoly, how much money it must have made over the years. It's basically the same game, but there are so many variations of it that I'm sure that game has made millions and millions of pounds and dollars over the years. And it's basically the same game, just run out again and again. All they did is put a little bit of spin on it. So you have a Minions version, you probably have a Harry Potter version, you probably have a Star Wars version. But each of those versions is appealing to an audience, in some way. I assume all Harry Potter fans probably raced out to get the Harry Potter version. Star Wars fans got the Star Wars version. But basically it's the same game, it's the same kind of buying land and selling land and charging rent and all those different things. So there's not really much difference in it. But I want you to think about, is there some product you could create that could be along the lines of Monopoly? Or if you have a product, is there any way you can maybe put a little bit of a spin on it and create another version of it that might appeal to another audience? Now, if I was going to take maybe one of my products and see if I could do that with it, one of the ones I could probably do is a video course I created on how to come up with fictional characters. And basically I have an A to a Z of questions that you would go through, and as you answer these questions, it actually will build a fictional character, that you can actually use for your stories. So I found that hard in the very beginning with coming up with kind of believable fictional characters. But I found over time that once I started asking myself these different questions, it not only helped me build a character, but gave me some backstory, and it gave me ideas that I actually could put into my story before I started writing it. So if I had a course like that, I do have a course like that, but if I was trying to monopolize it, one of the ways I could probably do that would be to change the format. Now, there are some sites where you can make your own playing cards. So again, like Monopoly, could I convert my video course into a pack of playing cards? Now at the moment I have 26 different topics that I would ask you to answer to come up with a fictional character. But say I maybe stretched myself and came up with 52 questions that you could answer, I could again turn my course into a pack of playing cards, so that if it ever happens when you are stumped for an idea for a book, or maybe you're having trouble coming up with a character, you basically just would pull out one of these cards at random, and it would give you a question or would give you something that would help you create your fictional characters. That's one way I could turn my video course into a different format. Again, it's the same kind of course, but like Monopoly, it's gone from being a board game into a card game. So is there any way you could maybe convert some of your products into maybe some kind of different format that would appeal to a different audience? If you have something in video content, is there some way maybe you could change its format into something else, whether that is report, maybe something as crazy as doing playing cards like I've just spoken about? Or is there some way maybe you could put a little bit of a spin on it and make it appeal to a different audience? Even something like a storyline for a book, you might have maybe a storyline for a romance book that happens at a certain time of year, but you could take that storyline, put a little bit of spin on it, and maybe just change the time of year when it's happening, and maybe have it based around Christmas time rather than whatever period of time your book is placed around at the moment. And then suddenly you have turned your little romance book into a Christmas romance book, and then you could tailor it toward the Christmas market. As we're coming up to Christmas now, I'm sure a lot of people are probably getting into buying kind of Christmas themed books. So maybe you could take something like even a storyline, Again, you would need to make your readers aware that this book is already out, and that it's in a different format or it has a different name, but maybe you could change it, maybe to move it a couple of months earlier and just have the romance taking place over Christmas holidays rather than whenever it's happening at your book at the moment. So sometimes, you can come up with good ideas. Maybe you mightn't be able to do that in your business, but I want you to keep that at the back of your mind. Is there some way you could do kind of a monopoly version of your product? Some way putting a little twist on it that it will appeal to another audience, but again, it doesn't kind of dilute what your main product is, but it's just a little bit different for different people. So give that some thought today. As I said, like, Monopoly has made millions and millions of pounds over the years. It's basically the same board game. There's not really much different in all the different versions, but there are so many versions of it, and again, it's appealing to loads of different audience because they are putting a little bit of a spin on. So is there any way you could put a little bit of a spin on what you're making and making it appeal to another audience? For example, maybe if you even had like a weight loss course, could you maybe tailor it towards a different market? For example, maybe if you could tailor it maybe to people who are in wheelchairs, maybe people who need to lose weight but are confined to wheelchairs. So some way maybe you could alter your diet plan or alter your exercise plan or whatever and simply tailor to a smaller market. Again, it might be something that maybe somebody in a wheelchair mightn't think they could do your diet, or maybe didn't think they could do your exercise plan or whatever, but by putting a little bit of a spin on it, you could maybe make it appeal to a smaller market like that. So have a think about whatever you're making at the moment. Is there some way you can change it, maybe do a small rewrite, but you can make it totally unique to a particular smaller audience? And you never know, you might actually make more money in smaller niches than trying to fight and compete with everyone in the main niche. So think about that. What is the Monopoly version of what you're doing? And see if you can do it. And if you can, why not do it? Instead of creating new products, simply just do a little bit of tinkering on your main product and then put it out there in front of another audience. So maybe you can and maybe you can't, but it's a thought kind of worth keeping in mind if you can make more money by doing less effort. So as always, if you'd like to find more of this great content, do a search for WriteCome, WriteCome.com, and as always, if you are subscribing, hit the little bell button on YouTube and I'll send the next couple of videos on to you, or subscribe on your little iPod device and I'll send the next couple of podcasts on to you. So as always, thanks for your time, have a great day, take care, and bye bye.